Yo, what's going on, guys? EK9 here, and today we're going to do something a little different. So as you guys can see, we do have a playoff bracket here, and this would be the current bracket if the playoffs started today. So we're going to do a simulation to see exactly who would win the cup if the playoffs started today. And as you guys can see in the East, Washington and Carolina, and Pittsburgh and the Isles, two matchups that actually did occur last year. We have a little reverse swap. So Tampa actually doesn't play Columbus, but Boston does. And then we'd have Tampa and Florida in a battle of Florida, which would be very interesting. In the West, a little bit of a change up. We got St. Louis and Arizona, Colorado versus Dallas, Vancouver and Vegas, and Edmonton and Calgary. So we would get a battle of Alberta as well. Vancouver and Vegas, the battle of the V's, and Colorado, Dallas, St. Louis, and Arizona. So this is what it would look like, guys. Let's see exactly how this turns out. And game one, St. Louis wins that one. Vancouver takes that one. And let's just keep simming, guys, until we see the end of the rounds. And then we'll take a look at the stats. So here we are, seeing what exactly happens. And Pittsburgh won that one. We get to game two. There's our current look. So St. Louis won, Vancouver won, Colorado, Calgary, Washington, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Florida. So we get game two here. 2-0 there. That one tied now. And we'll keep going here, see exactly what happens. That way we have an idea. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are about this. Do you guys think could be what it looks like? I know the Leafs aren't in here. Do you guys think the Leafs can maybe come alive? I know they have been under Sheldon Keefe, but they're starting to slip a little bit now. Do you guys think that they can carry the momentum and maybe push themselves into a playoff spot, or do you guys think that they're out? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments too. Another question I was asked was about Kovalchuk and what I think about the signing in Montreal. And I think it's an interesting signing, not going to lie. Personally, I think it's very good for Montreal, but I don't know exactly what they should do with him. Not necessarily as a nuisance or anything, but his value is going up. Montreal is a rebuilding team. I don't see them being anything, special this year. I don't see them being a playoff team. So maybe trade him, get a little bit of value for him since his value is higher. But since he is only on a 1-year deal, it probably won't be the best return. So maybe not. But to go for Lafreniere, maybe tank a little bit, would be interesting to see. But I'm not exactly sure. I know a couple of you guys. What are your thoughts on the Kovalchuk signing as well? That's a very interesting signing in my opinion. And as we get closer to trade deadline, we'll have more talks about stuff like that. And look at this, guys. Vegas does take that series. Colorado took their series. Calgary took their series. And St. Louis took their series. So we only have the series in the East left to worry about. And they're pretty interesting. Boston is the first team to win their series. And then we do have a couple changes here. And let's see what happens. Carolina tying their series. The Isles with a chance to win, and they do. This will require a Game 7. The Capitals prevail. So we will have a 4-0 versus 4-0 matchup. This will be interesting. So here's what the stats look like at the end of round one, guys. Steven Stamkos in first in points. Braden Point follows. Alex Ovechkin, 6 goals so far in the playoffs. Just lighting the lamp. 8.7 games. But Stammer and Point, almost 2 points per game in the playoffs. They are looking like a bunch of studs. Pacioretty doing pretty good. Jordan Staal putting up a pretty good effort. And Elias Lindholm going on a tear. So, guys, we do have the second round starting. Let's see exactly what happens here. And after one game each, we have St. Louis leading, Vegas leading, the Isles leading, as well as Boston leading. So let's see exactly what happens in this series. Calgary ties up their series. St. Louis goes up 2. The Isles go up 2. And let's see if Boston goes up 2. They do as well. So St. Louis currently 6-0. Looking like a championship team. They are 7-0. Oh my goodness. Calgary goes up 2-1. The Caps come back and win a game, and now we got Boston looking to really take a chokehold on the Lightning, but they don't. And a chance to close it out here, to edge out them, and they do. 8-0. Oh my gosh, the St. Louis Blues looking for another Stanley Cup final appearance, and the Capitals knot their series up, and Boston goes up 3-1. Here we go. Calgary takes a series lead there. The Isles go up, and Boston a chance to put them out. They don't, so the Lightning come back and win that game. And Calgary wins their series. They now move to 8-2 in the playoffs. Johnny Hockey takes over first in points, 14 points in 10 games. And there we go. And the Isles do eliminate the Capitals, and the Bruins don't win their series. So we will see if this series ends. And the Lightning complete the comeback, and we'll see exactly how the teams look after 2 rounds. So Braden Point does lead the NHL, 15 points. Ovechkin had 14 in 13 games. Johnny Hockey 14 and 10. Stammer 14 and 12. So a lot of Lightning we see in here. We got one night, a couple of the Flames, and then a Washington Capital. So very interesting on that front. We'll see exactly how the teams are looking right now. So the teams that have advanced, we do have Tampa Bay at 8-4. I don't know why they're actually number 1 and not St. Louis, but that's surprising to me. Maybe I was gonna say goals for, but no, I'm not sure. But St. Louis 8-0. They're only giving up 1.63 goals a game. Jordan Binnington looks like he's holding down the fort. Their power play is going at 31%. They're looking pretty solid. Haven't scored the most goals, but again, they played 4 games fewer than a couple of the teams there. Like, they played 4 less games than the Islanders, and they've got the same amount of goals. They are actually putting up the most goals. They have 4 a game. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens out of this as they do play Calgary. Do they get their first loss here? Calgary does win game 1, and the Isles win game 1. The Flames go up 2-0, and maybe the confidence got a little too high in the Blues, and now it does head to Calgary. The Blues steal a win there, and the Isles go back up 2-1. Let's see if the Blues bounce back here. Nope, they go down 3-1. Could have even the series, but they don't. And can Calgary advance to the finals? Not yet, at least. And here we go. The Isles take that game as well. So both series are 3-2. Can St. Louis force a game 7? They are out. The Blues have been eliminated. They got their first 4 losses of the playoffs and in the 3rd round. So they had a pretty decent run. Just ran into a little bit of trouble with the Flames. And is it going to be an Isles and Flames matchup? No, it will not. And both teams 11-7. Tampa Bay has made the final this year in this game simulation. Calgary and Tampa Bay. We got to watch every single game here, guys. See who's going to win. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think is going to be the Stanley Cup final matchup? Because do you guys agree with this? Do you guys think, hey, EA is out to lunch? Like, not even close. Personally, I don't know. Tampa Bay, you could obviously bet on them. They're really loaded offensively and defensively, but they just can't seem to get the job done, guys. Can this be the year? Can they get rid of that curse that they've had on them, the Stamkos? Can he finally lift this cup? And do you guys think Calgary? Because that's a really interesting pick. Calgary's been pretty good the last few seasons. A little rough this year, but after their coaching change, they've been a little bit better. So I'm not exactly sure what to think of Calgary yet, but I definitely wouldn't put my money on them. I'd be more into like a team like Colorado. I think Colorado might be the team to beat this year, but that's my own opinion. So let's see exactly how this goes, guys. Game 1, 0-0. Calgary leads 1-0. Johnny Hockey with a big goal, and Calgary takes game 1 here. This is going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. And here we go. Game number 2. Tampa starts off early. A big response by Calgary, and they pull it off. No, they don't. Tampa pulls off the 5-4 win. Yanni Gordon, Tyler Johnson in the 3rd. Milan Lucic getting a goal there, but not enough yet. Stammer is leading with 29 points. What a playoffs for him. 2-2 to start. Let's see what happens. Calgary up 4-2. Milan Lucic again. Holy, if only he was doing that in real life. Then that James Neal trade would have looked a little bit better for Calgary, but oh my. And now here we go. Back in Calgary, they're down 2-1. Still down 2-1. Third period. Is it going to be a 2-2 series? Yes, it will. Tied 2-2. This is really interesting to see if this was the actual final. Calgary does have a little bit of a better record, so Tampa has played a few more games. Obviously, that's why Stammer probably has a few more points than the rest, but here we go. Game 5. Here we go, Tampa. Hold on. They're one game away from winning the Stanley Cup final here, and that's what we like to see. Could it be, or are we getting to Game 7? Tampa Bay up 2-1. Calgary ties it. And Tampa Bay has lifted Lord Stanley here, guys. They are the Cup champion. That is right. The Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Cup. Here's a little bit of a rundown here. Stammer, 32 points in 25 games. Kucherov, 29 points in 25 games. Braden Point started to slow down a little bit, finishing with 24 points in 25 games, but by all means, still a really good playoff performance. Johnny Hockey leading the Flames with 24 points here. I want to see exactly how well Milan Lucic did, just because I find it interesting that he actually put up as many points. So, in the playoffs, he actually went on a tear. Maybe it's he was reminiscing back to those Boston days, and he put up 13 points in 22 games, guys. So let me know. What do you guys think? Think Tampa's going to win the Cup this year? Or what do you guys think? If you guys did enjoy, though, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Alright, guys. See you guys soon.